There have been long reported issues between Defence Department chiefs and government ministers. Is Richard Marles, just to turn the argument around, is Richard Marles right to crack the whip?
What he does is up to Richard Marles. The problem is we're reading about it in the paper. Now, you've got to be a little bit circumspect when they take this battle into the chamber, when it's that pronounced that we have this it looks like we've got dislocation between the running of the Defence Force and the Minister of the Defence Force. And he's, gets out there and beats his chest and says, I have every right to basically show what big muscles he has, when he should be just quietly behind the scenes, keeping this thing out of the press and not responding in such a way as just confirms that what's happening, the fractious nature of what's happening, and manage it. And if he can't manage it, give it to someone who can. We have to defend the nation, Richard. That is your job, Richard Marles. We've got to defend the nation, and we struggled. We couldn't get a ship to the Middle East to look after the Suez Canal, which is one of our greatest trading routes. We've got ships in dry docks. We've got the Navy unable to find crews. We've got a strategic defence review, which basically pressed the pause button on the requirements we have. They've now come back. They're going to buy Ghost Bat drones. We were going to buy Ghost Bat drones. All that's happened is delay. I suppose your adversaries break round and say, oh, look, if you just give them a Labor Party a decade or so, they might be semi-competent, and then we'll decide to do what we have to do to the nation of Australia. No, it doesn't work like that. Right. People take advantage of your weakness. And one of our biggest weaknesses is Minister Richard Marles.
And we've got Pat Conroy making that announcement on the Ghost Bats coming up next hour. Barnaby, just a final one, just on the week that was. Labor had a good week. They appear to have the ascendancy with the tax cuts, which have been largely approved by the polls. And now you've got the IR bill, even though there's some last-minute changes to that. How are you feeling about it all?
Look at the IR bill. Incompetence again. They passed an amendment which would mean that if you, as a boss, made a call to your worker after hours, you could go to jail. And then they read what they just voted for and went, oh no. I mean, this is just incompetence. And if you said, were they an absolute hoot, almost like the comedy show at Question Time, that was hilarious. I'm almost wetting myself watching them. It was so funny. And if you said, Mr. Albanese doing his fan dance of promises and just breaking them at whim, did he create a wedge? Oh, he was so clever. It's just that it shows that you can't trust them, and they're more interested in being entertaining to their backbench than running the country, and that is a problem.
Okay. Barnaby, good to see you as always. Thanks for joining us. We'll talk to you soon.